What's up, world? Jamie Kennedy here. Hate to break it to you. We're going to react to a bunch of videos today. I've been having some really great guests. All my guests are great that come through. And it's just, I'm lucky that people want to sit down with me. I don't pay them. They've been very nice with their time and generous. So, there's a lot going on. And I'm going back and forth between solos and guests, but I do like to rant. So I think I'm going to have a separate rant studio. I have 3 channels at the moment. There's this channel where you're watching this, Jamie Kennedy, which is compromised. Then I have my Clips channel. I hate to break it to you, Clips channel. It's doing very well. And then I have my Jamie Kennedy prank channel, which is close to getting monetized. And I'm probably going to start one more with streaming, and that is going to keep me very busy. And that is my life for those who care. Set up the news shop. On Monday, I'm shooting a scene in a movie I can't tell you with one of the stars. I could say it, Adrian Grenier. Vinny Chase. It's his movie. I don't think he's in my scene. I think it's the star of the movie, this young woman. I can't say what it is yet. Up and coming star. Tuesday, I'm going to be on Breitbart and Newsmax. Then I'm shooting a new episode of Funny You Should Ask. I shot Jeff Lewis last week. I just got my con schedule so far. I can't tell you anywhere I'm going to be. The only one that has been announced is GalaxyCon Rally. But I have 5 cons this year so far. Hopefully I'll get 10. Maybe 15. And then I'll do 15 stand-up gigs. So that's... If I do 25 gigs this year between cons and stand-up, that's half the year. It's 2 weeks a month. The other 2 weeks I'm in LA doing what I want. Maybe another weekend I'm in Florida. Shoot a scene in a movie here, shoot a scene in a movie there. Everything is going swimmingly. I cannot complain. That is my life. Will I do some gigs in LA? Sure. But I only want to do gigs where I'm working on new stuff. I don't want to just sit and same shit. But the fan base is growing. It's a lot of crazy shit. And we live in bubbles. I think things will be crazier and crazier because we've never gotten access to so much information. We just see too much. We know too much. And these microcosms of things get blasted out throughout the world. So we see it. And then we get involved. And I've been watching all of the complete insanity in Minneapolis. I do think Minneapolis is home of the deranged mindset. I've gone to Minnesota multiple times. I've had great times there doing shows. Um, I played the club that Louis Lee owns. It was fantastic. I've done casino there. I think I did a college show there. Um, I've done my friend's festival there, Loons in the Lake. The people are generally really cool. The state is beautiful, but you have a fringe set that is very just, they're very difficult. And I think I can say that because go look at my hotel video that I posted 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I got thrown out by 4 people with 27 pronouns and 16 colors of hair and 19 facial piercings because I wanted hot water. I was called a D-lister, trying to big time everyone. Then, if that wasn't crazy enough, the cops didn't even listen to me at all. And then they just said, "We're just listening to the hotel, get out." And if I did not comply, I would have been arrested. And even if I was an asshole, which I wasn't, you could be a little crazy. And if a cop recognizes you, it'll be like, okay, and either they like you or they don't. They're not going to break the law for you, but they'll be like, hey, Jamie, listen, take a hike. You got to go. Sorry. The cop never broke character. Now, this happens to me. I get pulled over by the cops. What do you think? I kiss a cop's ass. I did a whole story about how I was in Uber on my New Year's Eve show this year in the Keys, and a cop pulled over my Uber driver who was Jamaican, and the Uber driver was a hot Cuban. So I had a Jamaican, and he got pulled over. He goes, "What?" And then she goes, "Oh, where's your license?" And this shit was so funny. And I'm in the back seat. After 10 minutes, I go, "Can I go?" And the Cuban let me go. I have a whole story about it, but I did not want to get in the middle of that. And the guy was so... I wanted to live stream it. This driver was so compliant, but he couldn't find his one card. He found everything but one card. And I was like, oh, God, this is going to be a problem. So, I've been following what's going on in Minneapolis, and I posted something a little bit about it, and it's terrible. It's tragic. George Floyd should have never been killed. And I know there's a lot of circumstances around his death. Between the officer with his knee on his neck, between the amount of fentanyl. I don't know everything. I just hear all this stuff. But he should have never died. Whether he didn't comply or it was too rough or the drugs took over, I don't know. Combination of all three. It's sad that he died. Charlie Kirk should have never been killed. All he did was give his opinions in a country where we have free speech. And Megan Good should have never been killed. And people get mad that I put all 3 of them together. I put all 3 of them together. They're all separate, all different cases. But I put them all together because they're 3 unnecessary deaths. I don't know enough about George Floyd other than everything I saw in the media, but I don't know if he complied or not. I'm guessing he did. He did, and then he did. If we look at the video, and then the knee on the neck did him in, along with the drugs, apparently. I may not have it totally right, but it seems like if he complied, there wouldn't have been as much stress. But maybe not. Maybe they just beat his ass and killed him. I don't have the video fresh in my mind, and I don't have it here. Someone can comment. Charlie Kirk, you know, was a complete victim. Should never happen. And Renee Good, it's a sticky situation, but it's terrible. This woman who's indoctrinated was a woman at one time with a man, has 3 children, so clearly she loved men, and then got taken over by the lesbian brigade. And I'm not talking like lesbian, like there's I have a joke, and I say lesbians, you know, how the lesbianism is bigger now more than ever because women are getting through with men. And the joke is that, you know, back in now they're hot, which is not totally true because there's a lot of non-hot lesbians, but there are 2 women that are beautiful that get together. I'm seeing this more and more. And the joke is, back in my day, we never had that. We had one woman who was kind of cute and another chick who looked like a Little League umpire. And then I do the whole joke. I'm going to do this whole thing. Anyway, that's very true. But the real part of that joke is I made it less because it's really the truthful part of it no one ever laughed at, which is if you see a lesbian couple and there's one hot chick and another chick who does look like a Little League umpire or dresses like a 15-year-old boy with her ball cap and all that stuff, that's usually the trafficked and the trafficker. Full stop. Full stop. These women take these weak-minded women who are confused, who've had bad relationships. Hey, girl, you don't like him. Come on, let me show you how I do a girl. And they end up pillow printing them. They're the aggressor. Put them against the hood of the bed, dingle-dong-em, all that shit. The lady just sits back. She's hot. She never got any pussy like this. She's getting the attention. She don't know. She's got a gopher in her fucking crotch. And that's real. I can tell you this. How do I know this? Because I see it. I see it at shows. I see it around. Of course, there's healthy lesbian couples. Of course, there's couples that are hot, couples that are too, you know, squat, whatever, in between all the time. But there is this thing of like these trophy chicks that these little pushy lesies get, and they pillow print them to death. And I think it's just funny because they're an oppressed group, or they say they are, that you're supposed to, you know, kiss their ass. Well, we're done kissing everyone's ass. We told you that. We're done. Everyone's ass. Everyone's got the same ass. This is not hate speech. Like, this is what people say. This is just true speech. Okay? It's true. These are true things. Now, if you don't know they're true, you can come out with me one day and meet me in a city in a sweet way, and we can go to a town where you come to one of my shows, and I will hang with you, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Just like when people get mad about I do my tacos at 3 a.m. street meat cart, and I do a Mexican accent, and they get mad and say that's racist. I will take you to the different carts that have very thick accents. It's the best tacos in the city. They probably don't have all their paperwork. I don't care. They're not bothering me. And we're all eating these tacos. So it's about being honest with yourself. And so why am I saying this with Renee Good? Because Renee Good, she was indoctrinated. You know, I can't tell you what these men are going through, these men and women in ICE. I can only see what I see, and they're against the most extreme situations. And she did say, hey, dude, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. The other chick was kind of harmless. We're going to film you, bud. Go to lunch, bud. Then the guy said, get the fuck out of the car. When he said that, she should have put the thing in brake and said, get out, I comply. Because I guarantee Renee and her girlfriend probably were very much like, get the vax. I find it hard to believe that they're anti-vax. They're probably like, hey, what I find is a lot of people are like, get the vax so they can go out and vape again and go to concerts, as opposed to getting the vax because you're healthy. They just wanted convenience for their own narcissistic things instead of going, well, I don't need to go to a concert. I don't need to vape. I don't want to look at this. What is going on here? So I don't know if they are, but that's that type of vibe that everything switched and punk rock became lunaticish and conservatism became punk rock. And common sense became conservatism, which is not. It's just common sense. It's not conservatism. It's not highly Catholic or Christian or any of this stuff. It's just common sense. It's like an egg is an egg. It's not a fucking caterpillar. It's an egg. That's it. A spoon. This is a spoon. This is not a kitten. But that you're making fun of me or some people. That's what we're dealing with all of these different ideologies and people identifying as something they're not. But the eye sees this, but the mind tells you it's not this. The eye sees a spoon, but they say I identify as a remote control. You would never in the real world go, this is a remote control. But in our human world, you make all these exceptions and say, oh, you're just being hateful. It's not. No, it's all the same shit, but people pick and choose. And if you feel like you want to be something else, that's fine, but just let everyone know that we still have to operate on the real laws of reality and go, I am physically this, but I'm emotionally and spiritually this. That's okay. That's where the problem breaks down, is people won't admit that. They just get stubborn with stuff. So with Renee, it's terrible. She didn't get out of the car. And then the guy tried to get in front. He kind of went in front of the car. He was doing his job. He was doing everything. And then I look like he got out of the way, but apparently there's reports saying he has injuries. They should release all that, internal injuries and stuff. And he had PTSD. He was drugged by a car, so he was definitely going through it. I mean, he was probably very scared. He got like 35 stitches or something from his last thing, so he's probably very messed up about that. I don't know. Then he said, fuck a bitch, I think, at the end. I think if he said that, whatever. Anyway, I'm not an ICE agent. You're not an ICE agent. Who knows? These are difficult situations. It's terrible that he shot her. It's terrible that he shot her 3 times, the face, all. It's awful. It's awful. But again, if he feared for his life, then you don't know what you're going to do when you fear for your life. So I don't know. It's just a terrible situation that could have been avoided if really if she just stuck with men on the base level, or B, if you didn't get in your car and then drive 2 hours to go and protest, or C, when he said, get the fuck out of the car, get the fuck out of the car. But you listen to this lady who I don't know who she is, and she's like, drive, baby, drive. Then you send her in, she's the victim. And then the horrible video afterwards, and she's like, you use real bullets. Like, I agree with her, because I wouldn't have thought they would have had real bullets like that. But this is what it is. It's a real situation. And especially someone who was already attacked, and, they had attempted murder on him. So, you don't fucking fuck with the bull if you don't want the fucking horns. I mean, that's what it is. And now that's the bar that's set. You fuck with ICE, you could get killed. But it's a terrible situation on all fronts. But I am pro-ICE. And I'm pro-common sense. I wish Renee never went down there. And let me explain why I'm pro-ICE. Do I seem like I'm a hateful person to you? Like, you could just use me. Take this clip and use it. Do I sound racist to you? Like, do you feel when you look into my eyes, my baby blue eyes, that they're full of hate? Seriously, look into my eyes. Do you feel that I'm full of hate and fear and anger at you? Or do you feel a guy that's open and wants to communicate? And if you really look into my eyes, you'll know the answer. It's like when I did the Jesse Lee Peterson pod, and he goes, do you love white people? And I said, yeah, I love white people. I love all people, black people. And it's this trap question, and they try to get you. Because A, if I just say I love white people, they clip it, and then you're a racist, which I can understand why people say that. So then in our world, I say I love black, but I don't really love people I don't love people because of their color. I love people because of their character. That's it. I don't care about your color. I really don't. I don't care about your color. I don't care about your gender. I don't care about your nationality. I don't care about your religion. I really don't. I don't care about your gender. I don't subscribe to any of that. All of that is dumb to me, is dumb. I think we have to stop doing that. I think you have to stop saying, I'm Jewish, or I'm a woman, or I'm gluten-free, or all these labels are terrible. I'm Islamic. No, you're a person. We have to subscribe to the humanity law. It's so easy to do, and once you do that, I'm black. You won't, your life will be infinitely easier. Infinitely easier if we lose every label. Just subscribe to, do I, that's the problem, is no one subscribes to the human level. I mean, I do, my friends do. Just a human being. That's all we care about. Are you cool? Meaning, are you reasonable? Are you chill? That's it. So if you looked in my eyes and you have some kind of crazy hateful comment towards me or something like that, or you think these things, that's on you. That is on you. That is your projection of your own self-delusion that you put onto somebody. It's not me. Because I will listen to anyone. In fact, you can ask people. People who came to my shows comment. People who met me at cons comment. People who worked with me on sets comment. All over. People who see me at Trader Joe's comment. I guarantee my score won't be 100 because there's delusional people, and I have bad days. But my score should be in the high 90s because I know what I am. And that's why I started obsessing. I'm trying to obsess less, and I think I am, because I literally know that, like, I'm right with myself, and, like, I know who I am. And I think that we live our life trying to impress other people, and really you only have to impress God. That's it. Whatever you believe God is, that's who you got to impress, because you got to make peace with the big one. That's it. Your fellow man, all of these people, all of it doesn't matter. It's God. It's the creator of this simulation or whatever this is. It's the more powerful person that put us here. Entity, whatever you want to call it. So, that being said, is ICE, everyone, let's take Mark Ruffalo, who says this stuff. It's really simple. You got to go, and if there's a problem, if you're impeding an officer's job of the law, if the job is to go and get criminals out, and we're getting mostly criminals, and then some of them, maybe we overreached and they weren't criminals. I've been told that we're catching and releasing many people. But if you don't support this program, then I think we should have a program where you can never call the police. It's really simple. Just, if you are anti-ICE, you are anti-police protection. I want the police. I pay taxes. I don't have any convictions. I pay my car insurance. I pay house insurance. I pay for medical. Okay? I want a nice environment to live in. No one owes me anything. I'm owed nothing. I worked hard. I made some moves. And life has been pretty darn good to me. But I believe in the rule of law. We're not in the Congo. We're not in the Algiers. Okay, we're in the United States of America. So, if it's the same thing, when you get pulled over, don't argue. People are saying, how can they demand the paperwork? Are people not understanding what the... If a cop asks me for my ID and I don't have my ID, that's a problem. Now, there might be a law that says you don't have to suppose your ID or whatever, but if I have an ID, I will always show the cop my ID. What are you doing around here? Sure, show it to him. I have nothing to hide. And if I don't, I have something to hide. It's not that hard. Comply. Let them do their job and see what happens. Why don't you give them 6 months of no protests and let ICE pull everyone out? And then use all this time and energy to figure out a way to get people that you feel that have been unjustly taken out of this country. This isn't about brown people. That's the dumbest thing ever. This is about, do you have the proper documentation to live in this country? I heard something about a guy who lived here for 20 years and he deported, and he's basically American. He got brought here as a baby, was taken out. That's terrible. That does sound terrible. I don't know his story, but I will say you have 20 years. 20 years. And then people said, well, if he went to get documentation, it would expose his parents. Oh, well. This isn't a comfortable thing. This isn't, oh, well. You play football. You want the glory. You could get a concussion. This is high stakes. Oh, well. Do you understand it? You have to understand these words. Oh, well. You have to get, this is real shit. Do you want gangs? Do you want murderers that have been let in? There's been a lot of bad people that have come through our borders. Do you want them in your neighborhood? That's it. It's really simple. If not, just don't. It's really simple. Let's pass a law that if you protest against ICE, you can't use the cops. You cannot use the cops. You'll have no protection. Shit, I'll pay extra into the cops to have their protection. Rick Caruso did it for the fire fucking department, and look at his buildings in the Palisades. He's the only person standing. So there is no middle ground anymore. There is a side. You have to pick it. And all these actors that are saying, oh, anti-ICE, all this stuff, they're never going to not call the cops. They are lying to you. Mark Ruffalo is a great actor, but he's saying that from the carpet of the Beverly Hilton during an award show. One of the most guarded award shows in our country, in our world. One of the most guarded events, excuse me. The Golden Globes is so security. Just don't have any security for the Golden Globes. It's really simple. Just don't. I mean, it's really simple. Don't have security. At what point will you learn? I mean, it's really, why do people do that? Why is law enforcement giving security to people that don't respect them? Of course there's law enforcement that's done some bad things and terrible stuff. Of course there's citizens that have. Of course there's immigrants that have been unjustly biased again. Of course, and of course there are some that have snuck through. Of course. This is not a perfect science. But the idea of keeping our country and our borders documented correctly, everyone should come in. But just do it correctly. What's that? What is so hard to understand about that? There's really no argument. I don't care. You can say, yeah, but great. It's an imperfect science. So just no one's really being honest with you. And no one's really being, they're not. If any music stars are saying fuck ICE, then don't have any security at the venue. Don't have any security on movie sets. All of this stuff. Because this is what this is. It's securing the borders to live in a country that we believe is free. A lot of people just jump on a bandwagon because they want to be popular and be in a club, but the club is just eroding. It's eroding. So that's my take. I'd like to see no more violence, no more bloodshed, but that's impossible when you have mentally deranged people and people working to do the bidding. I mean, people getting in their faces. I'm going to show you some videos now. I mean, open it. So all you have to do is open it. No? Okay, smash it. Now, behind all this is tons of people trying to agitate the cops. All you had to do is just open the window, sir. That's all you... You could have just opened the window. Here's what's happening. People are causing problems and then playing the victim. It's like someone pinches you, you turn around and you punch them, and then they go, I'm a victim. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. It's so simple. Just show your license, get out of the car. You get ample warning. Just comply. Again, I guarantee all these people will comply with so they could go out into the world and go to music festivals and vape and do things that are morally questionable because they have their own self-serving interest. You understand? This is the true. I don't want to say these words, but this is a great bit I just came up with. This is the true. Remember they said you do it so for your neighbor, literally comply for your neighbor. Comply for your neighbor. That's what this is. Comply for your neighbor. You literally are affecting all of us with this shit. Don't light a Foot Locker on fire during George Floyd protests. That will affect your neighbor. But they did. Yo, we're just going to have to split the country up. The more I'm thinking about it, the more, and comedy clubs up. Like, there are comedians that are so loony. They're not open to any conversation about this at all. Actors. I don't think athletes are. I think athletes are pretty level-headed. I don't know if this is real, but... Mental illness. Who's mental illness? Pew, pew, pew. Yes, mental illness. Who's mental illness? Yeah. If that's true, because I don't know if it's AI. I mean, this is something I saw. If it's true, she still didn't deserve to die, but it's disgusting. And his video makes a point. If that's true. Giggling, laughing, joking. I haven't seen one video yet of people. I've seen people being cold towards her death or saying, well, she fucked around, found out, fuck her. I've seen that. I think that's too much. I understand it was a terrible situation and a split-second decision had to be made. And it was made, and she lost her life because of it, and it was avoidable if she didn't get involved. But it's still ugly that happened. It's just crazy. It's nasty way to die and all this stuff. But her doing that, celebrating George, celebrating Charlie, it's terrible. Again, if you celebrated George, imagine somebody did that, you'd be in fucking every jail there is. Fucking race, prison, all this shit.
Hollywood is in an absolute death spiral. Sunday's Golden Globes bombed miserably. Ratings were down 80%.
I don't think that's true as much as I do think Hollywood is having some issues. Let me just look. Now these could be lies that someone's telling me. It says it fell 7%. 7%. So it did go down. He says 80%. So this is, A lot of people have said 7%, dude. So he's being extra here.
From just last year.
Listen, I think they're totally insulated, but they didn't fall 80%.
Only 2 million people watched. I mean,
No,
I've had
7.8 million people watched. I do think that Hollywood is in trouble. It's getting less of an audience, but again,
video posts with 2 million views.
Okay.
So stay until the end and I'll explain exactly why. Hollywood is dying because the people in control have prioritized virtue signaling and social indoctrination over
that's true. So far, I'm with you.
their actual purpose. Box office is down, streaming is down,
This is
audience
true.
is down,
True.
content spend is down, finished projects are shelved, layoffs rampant, and viewers just aren't coming back. Why? Well,
The box office was down like 35% in this fall. I do know that. I don't know what the streaming numbers are. I think some hits are hits and some aren't. But yes, I agree. I just think the numbers are higher than what you're saying than they're not as high as what you're saying.
because the entitled elites, the indoctrinated
I
midwits,
agree
and
with
the
that.
actors who confuse award show applause with an actual education forgot the reason they exist to begin with.
This is all true.
To entertain,
Yep.
to serve an audience, to tell stories that people actually want to watch. It used to be about escapism, wonder, adventure, stories that lifted you out of your daily grind and dropped you into something magical, magnetic, and unforgettable. But most of that is gone. Now, it's endless lectures from self-righteous bloviators fancying themselves philosophers because they got cast in the Hulk. You can't even put your kid...
It's true. He's right. The Hulk's out here giving us an education. He's right. So far, he's right. The numbers aren't totally right, but his message is.
in front of a cartoon without worrying if it's going to feature a random sexualized political message.
It's true.
Nothing is off limits. It all has to be rewritten to fit the latest ideology. No legacy character is safe from a forced DEI makeover, and no historical fact is safe from moral inversion.
He's right. I don't know who this guy is, but this is all right. It's too long, but it's dying in the sense that it's becoming so much like the general pop doesn't care as much anymore. And I can tell you that right now. Here's a great example. Well, he's saying it correctly, and the Golden Globes are like, we know it all, darling. They have accents when they're not from London. Like, the Golden Globes, it's literally a pay-for-play. It's literally an OnlyFans show. Like, it is. It's a pay-for-play. There's like 6 people that vote. You fucking make a deal. I'm telling you. It is not. The Hollywood Star is a pay-for-play, and sad as it is. So, but that audience, since they have NBC or CBS, they go, oh, well, this is on a legacy media. It's the Golden Globes, glamorous. I'm not saying there's not great people in it. There are great entertainment out of it for sure, but it acts like it's the only game in town, and it used to be, but it's not anymore. Especially with the rise of other award shows, just the Critics' Choice Awards, the BAFTAs. There's so many award shows now that people are like, A, they're screaming for market share, but B, they're like, well, we have awards too, and C, they think General Pop wants to keep watching celebrities marched out in fucking demonic colored uniforms to accept a fucking piece of plastic, but tin, but the General Pop is getting annoyed at that. So it's like someone like this man who I don't know, he has a voice because of social media, which is his own TV station. So some people can watch him and see 3 million views. And so, yeah, it's just going to get more and more bifurcated. We know this. And more. So it's happening. You just can't buy into it. I like the Golden Globes in terms of, like, if you win one, it's cool to say, but I think it's all about the people. It's the people. That's all we care. That's all I care about are the actual consumers of the content. I mean, you'd like your peers to respect you, but a lot of people are on groupthink. So some people will respect you if a lot of people respect you, or don't respect you, and they go, "Oh, you're an anti-hero." You know what I mean? Or you just get popular and people will respect you, or they'll hate you. I don't know. They're jealous. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying, how it's different. Legacy stars, legacy media, it's changed. It's changing. And I don't know enough about it, but when you go to a con, as much as I think I'm cool, my line's pale in comparison to, let's say, some anime people. People on Crunchyroll on shows I don't even know are humongous. Don't even know who I am. Or some of the actors from different animated projects, let's say Has Been Hotel, which my buddy is on. I don't know enough about the show, but it's humongous, and I believe it's produced directly just for YouTube. I believe it's just an independent creation. Humongous. Such a fan base. You never hear about it in legacy media. You never hear about it anywhere. And it's completely dominates at cons. And there's other shows like that. So that's where I agree with this man, because they don't get any press. They don't get New York Times. They don't get Entertainment Weekly. They don't get pushed by anybody, and they're huge because of the fans. And I guess that's what the people's choice is. But I just feel that the award shows now, they're just too one-sided. It's not as fun as it used to be. I'm telling you. I really am. Like, and you're going to go, oh, you're not involved, whatever. I can go. If I want to go, I can fucking muster up a ticket. It's really not that. It's not the same as it was. It's because, again, we know too much. Curtain's been peeled back. But also, there are really cool people to just see on social media that are very entertaining. The fact that no podcasts that wasn't insulated in Hollywood were nominated for Golden Globe, but are the biggest. The fact that the top 10 biggest podcasts in the world weren't even nominated is insane. That's it. Joe Rogan should get an award for inventing it. Just for that. He should be out there. You should invite him. He should get an award for being the podfather. That's it. Just start there and work your way down. The fact that he wasn't even nominated is like, how can anyone ever take the Golden Globe seriously ever again? You can't. How? It's crazy. I am so disgusted and sick of this type of content. No. Let's make 2026 the year of accepting that girls do fart. How about let's make 2026 the year of not admitting that girls have an ass. You don't have that muscle. You don't do that. You piece of shit. What? There's something called being ladylike. You can still be strong or just be classy. I don't want dudes to do that. I'm so sick of this type of content where girls like, I'm going to be a pig like a guy. A lot of guys aren't pigs. We don't do that. I don't sit around with my friends and fucking bust ass all day. I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? But like, if something pops out or something, it's funny, it's cute, whatever, but actively trying to fart, there's this whole movement of women that think that guys act like this, and it's just like lowest common denominator brain space. And then like, it's just, it's so not classy. Again, we're talking about the streets. In the streets, keep it classy. It's just disgusting. Like, my friends don't sit around and bust ass all day. If they did, they wouldn't do it in a restaurant where there's other people and then like film it and then put it on the internet. Go, look how much of a pig I am. This is a piglet lunch. Like, that's just a turnoff. It's a turnoff. I don't care what these women do. It's a turnoff. It's a turnoff. And men, a lot of dudes don't even do that. It's just like, let's 2026, the year you don't have a butthole. It's like, oh my God, I'm trying to repress women. No, I'm just trying to I don't want a friend to fucking fart. Like, just have some dignity. I can't stand content like that.
So scientists are reporting that people are passing away at a rapid rate right now due to them cracking their necks. Check this out. So people have been cracking their necks for a long time, and apparently now, for some reason, you can maybe guess as to what the reasons might be. People, when they're cracking their necks while they're driving or...
This is nuts. I've been seeing a lot of posts about this. I think it's a real thing. And he'll tell you why. If not, I'll tell you why.
While they're in an athletic sport, or whatever the case is, just to relieve the tension, are doing it. And for whatever reason, it's causing a separation in the artery, or it's cracking their neck in general, where the spine is. And it's making people pass for some reason. What are some of the reasons this could be all out of a sudden? It seems very strange. We do have a lot of things going on with flu and different diseases and things like that. And strange.
Yeah, he's being sarcastic, but apparently, if this is true, I'm always very sensitive about the neck, but I have a great chiropractor when he does it. But they always say, oh, God, you have to be careful when you do it. I guess what he's saying is they're cracking their necks, cracking blood clots. The theory is that there's blood clots. It cracks the neck, and then it goes and blocks. But wouldn't the blood clot already be there?
Warning signs of satanic behavior may be apparent, such as a sudden, bitterly antagonistic attitude towards family and religion, a drastic decline in academic performance, a reclusive behavior pattern, and listening exclusively to heavy metal rock music.
I was talking about this with my buddy, how you go and you see those pentagrams, and you'll see emo teenager kids with a bunch of pentagrams on their shirt, and they get a Hot Topic, and they think, oh, it's stylish, but it's really putting the message out there. So this was an ad in the early 90s about the satanic panic, but the whole point is...
almost to the point of addiction. When one or more of these warning signs are evident, you should look further for ritual items such as a pentagram or other satanic symbols, black or red robes, a decorative dagger or knife,
Damn.
a chalice or goblet, black candles, a personal diary with a black cover, which is called a Book of Shadows, and copies of publications.
Damn, they always come put Ozzy in there. Ozzy got nothing to do with this. Ozzy literally is an entertainer.
Such as the Satanic Bible and the Satanic Rituals, and possibly a small makeshift altar. If you discover items such as these, experts advise you contact your local law enforcement agency at once.
Now, by the way, all of those things are true, and that could lead to some crazy ass shit. Or it could just be someone cosplaying. But the whole point of this video was that someone put it out and said this was the warning and made parents uncool and teachers uncool, which at that time in that era, I would have been like, yeah, you are uncool. But also Richard Ramirez had some of this shit, okay? And he fucking killed 31 prostitutes. If you look at Richard Ramirez, he did a lot of this stuff. But also, they say, oh, you're scared of rock music. The whole point of the video was it was put out there, so in plain sight, if you know what that means. People get so defensive about this, like you're taking their freedoms away. But we're just saying, hey, Do you think there's truth to this? I do. There's a new satanic, some type of statue in the Minnesota of all places. Fucking Minnesota. In the federal building or whatever. So there's one there. And again, why is it there? Oh, it's a religion. Come on.
If you are going to overthink, then overthink
I'm going to end it with something positive.
the positive. If you are going to overthink, then overthink the positives. Overthink the best outcome. Overthink how good this life could be. Overthink how peaceful it would feel.
I got to do this. I hope this is a real man. I don't think it's the AI.
If things slowly, quietly worked out. Because the mind has a habit, it leans toward fear. It replays the past. It worries about a future that hasn't arrived. We imagine the worst-case scenario. We revisit old mistakes. We carry tomorrow's weight before it is real. But what if the mind is gently turned in another direction? Let this be the intention for 2026. To overthink the positives, even if it feels unfamiliar, even if the mind resists at first. Some will say it isn't possible, but healing often begins with a new direction of attention. To imagine the best outcome in each moment, to picture the best version of the path unfolding, friendships that nourish, places that feel like home, work that aligns with the spirit, not by denying what is hard, but by choosing where the mind rests.
There's a little more, but I'm going to stop there. This is so good. And I've slowly been trying to do this. And this video was probably, they read your mind, so they probably saw it. My mind was there, so they fed it to me. I think it's a real monk. There's monks walking across America, by the way, and I think maybe he's one of them. I just love that so much. I will say something has changed in me. I'm 55, and I'm trying to be the healthiest person I can be. I got to get a total test, but I think I'm in good health. And now it's just a matter of just like maintaining and getting better. Getting my finances healthy, getting my career healthy, getting my mind, my body, my soul healthy. And what does that mean? Well, I only really want to do things that I want to do. I know that people think the pandemic ended in 2021, but for me, it really didn't end until 2022-ish. And because everything was still like half and half, and the pandemic was symbolic of all the different things that was changing. And, the last 3 years I've been grinding, 4 years been grinding and going crazy and stacking chips and now I'm ready to really lay it down and be really specific in my life of what I want to do, the people I'm around, and I've been slowly cutting out things anyway, but now I'm really going to be tough about it. And if I don't really want to do anything I don't want to do, and I'm fortunate I don't need to, but come on, 55, I've been working a long time. And I like if I go, like sometimes there's tense things like if I'm doing a comedy show, I try to lead with gratitude. Like I played a sold out show in the Keys. There's nothing really not to be excited about playing a sold out show in the Keys. So there's nothing really for me to get over there, but sometimes I'm tired and stuff. And I was like, I'm just so grateful that people want to come out and spend time with me. And then when I was in Chicago, I was like, I'm just going to put the best shows on I can. One show I felt was off, but it's like these people really have come to see me. And I'm like, I have to always remember that. And it's like, I'm lucky that they want to see me. And with cons, sometimes I'll go to cons and the travel and stuff. And I'm like, I'm just going to have the best time at this con. I'm going to talk to the people that I like, and I'm going to hang, and I'm going to find the best little local restaurant. And, and I'm going to, mingle with the people that I like. And like, kind of like with my pod, I want to talk to people that I like and do subjects that I like. So everything is about making the choices that you like. That's why I like doing Jeff Lewis's show, because I really love the group of people that I'm in. And I love, I have like 8 little pockets of things that I do. And I just, funny you should ask, I love the group of people, it's so, that's what you have to do. And it's like, it's so fortunate, I'm like, wow, I'm really, instead of what I don't have, I'm really, 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 I try to, and I think I'm getting really good at, you have to focus on what you do have. Not what you don't have, but what you do have. It's so important, for your mind. And, quit giving your power away. But just focus on what you have. And it's like, this is great. Like, I'm so lucky. Instead of what you got slighted on or what's this. And it's taken me a while to get there. And I'm not there, but I'm actively doing it. When I do something, if I'm in a situation that's a little, I'm like, I'm so lucky. Like I did the Keys show. Here's an example. And I got to stay. These people come to my shows a lot in Florida, different shows, Bill and Renee. And they have a beautiful place in the Keys, one of the greatest places on planet Earth, Key West, Florida. And so they said, would you like to stay? They gave me a whole side to their house. And they have a whole other side. And I've met them many times. I stayed with them once before, but they had an Airbnb. And I was like, thank you. And they're just incredible people, so generous, overly hospitable. And by doing that, like, I'm sitting in my bed, like falling asleep, going, I'm in the Keys in this amazing house, like they wake up in the morning, have the homemade coffee, which they make me, chilling by the pool, because they've allowed me to stay there. And people think I'm crazy. Like, you don't know them. Why don't you stay at the condo? Well, by doing that, I was able to then give the condo, which is an amazing condo, by the way. Comedy Key West has a great condo for comedians. I was able to put my opener there, Mike, who works as, A, he's really funny. B, he sells all my merch and knows how to do it. And C, he's a buffer between me and the world. You know what I mean? If he's security. So I need somebody. And Mike was happy and very, open to doing it. So he did the weekend with me, the weekend. And so he got the great condo. I got the great house. And I was like, there's an example of, like, I'm grateful. They get to hang with me. Like, they like me. So they're like, this is cool. And it's nothing weird. There's no upside down pineapples or nothing. And it's like, they sit and they have like a Jamie Kennedy pet for like a few days, and I have like an amazing place. They let me use their golf cart. So these are the type of things that I go into situations and I'm like, I'm really blessed. And I think that we have to remember that. I'm starting with me. But everything's going on in the world right now, like we're talking about, instead of like getting mad at ICE or getting mad at immigrants and all that stuff, look about it something from a common sense way and going, what do we have? We have a beautiful country. There's 2 different existences. There's people who think this country's going to shit, and there's other people who think the country's thriving. I'm in the camp of I think it's thriving. Yeah, we're having some rough patches right now, but we can look at statistics in each category and see where we've improved. I mean, it's just that simple. And I was golfing yesterday with my buddy Jason, and I was looking at the mountains on the Pasadena Ridge, and I looked up and I said, that's what you pay for, brother, right there. And he was like, wow. So whatever you're going through, everything's a battle, but everything also can be looked upon. Try to look at what you do have. I'm trying. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. If you want to clip this up, clip it up. Peace. Anyone's talking, they're blocker.
That's not why I came to you. You know how fucking backwards that is? Shit.
I hate to break it to you.